I think we had gone over this pretty good the other day. There are some things, though. Make sure the acrosomal reaction, what is absolutely necessary for fertilization to occur. It's going to be, you know, removing that acrosome and also releasing these enzymes. There's a question on your final exam over that. All right, now since it just hit my brain. Just what? All right. All right, just hit my brain. One good possibility, and it just came up this semester, and we got the answer for it over the Thanksgiving break by talking to the lead girl in the family. One good question for a possible. Yeah, I like this question. For a possible bonus question is what is the reason behind females who are very athletic, who do a lot of running, whatever, for them to suffer from amenorrhea? What is the reason behind that? And what answer did I give you the other day? The low, especially the estrone. And you would need to bring into the answer. Here's what you would need to bring into the answer to get full credit, if I do that one. But I've got another one in mind, too. If I do that one, you would have to you've got to bring in mind, you've got to bring this out to get full credit. You've got to bring out that for all steroid hormones, all steroids, the building block, the starting point is cholesterol. Now, according to Holly, the girl or young woman who really is into extreme conditioning, aerobic type stuff, running, etc., into extreme conditioning, then their cholesterol levels might be very, very low. And in fact, that's what would stem. The cholesterol level would be extremely low. With the cholesterol level being extremely low, then there is a back off in the extraneous estrogen production by the subcutaneous tissue, which I wasn't aware of. That I'm going to do a little more work. This is what she was explaining to me, what she told me. But there's a little bit of a fallback, and she said the key culprit there is the estrone, estrone, that level. That's not the major estrogen hormone. The major one is estradiol, E-S-T-R-A-D-I-O-L. And then the second in line is estrol. And then the third in line, as far as the estrogens, is this one. And she said that this then triggers, this is what accounts for that amenorrhea. And then, of course, if a person said, well, is that now, did all of you know what the amenorrhea means? Everybody know what that term means? Y'all did know, didn't you? Absence of. Y'all did know that. And so that's a good possibility of a question. Another good, everybody handle that one? But you got to bring in the cholesterol as a starting point. Not only for the estrogens, for testosterone, cholesterol is the base point for aldosterone, for all the steroids. We can't have a cholesterol-free body. You know, we get all this stuff, which is not all garbage, but we get all this stuff about high elevated cholesterol. Well, yeah, too much of the LDL, the wrong kind, is not good. Too much is not good. That is a major factor in coronary artery disease. And so, but the problem is we get too much of the wrong kind in general as Americans. We get too much. And let me quickly say this also, y'all. This cholesterol thing also, sometimes some people suffer from, or not suffer from, because Leachman told me he thought I had some of this. Hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipidemia is where the liver, cholesterol is two sources in your body, the liver and the food you eat. But I keep mine controlled very, very nicely. But when I first went to him many years ago when I was having a problem, the term hyperlipidemia showed up on one of the charts. Hyperlipidemia is a genetic type thing, where that's where it's it's inherited. Now another question. I had an exam that I gave, and I always change these up a little bit. This final exam I had. All right, now listen to this one. How many of you could answer this one? Thank you. Shame on you. In the pregnant situation. You hope you're not. All right, in the pregnant situation, Explain the importance of HCG. In the pregnant situation, explain the importance of HCG. Not just takes over now. The human chorionic gonadotropin makes the corpus luteum maintain its status quo and keep producing progesterone. And then after a while, later on, the corpus luteum wanes pretty much toward the end, and the placental hormones keep everything going through the pregnancy. But early on, for sure, the human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, in the pregnancy test, the HCG that shows up in the urine sample, the color test, the HCG, it's going to maintain the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is maintained, it keeps producing progesterone, and the stratum functionalis remains intact. It remains intact. So that's another good example of a possible, I'll probably come up with some more of a possible bonus type question. All right, so those are some good things. And I think I just want to make sure we covered this. That acrosomal stuff there, that is on the final. The term, I'll tell you something else that's on the final. I'm not going to go through laboriously go through these slides by any means. And that right there just tells you how the secretions of the female reproductive tract, the acidity, that sort of thing, it does remove the cholesterol from the acrosomal end and other chemicals. And so it makes possible the release of highly uranidase, proteases, and these other chemicals, which are absolutely necessary for dissolving through the corona radiata and the zona pellucida. All right, so I just want to reemphasize that. But there's something else right in through here. Let's see, acrosomal reaction. Well, that's that. All right, something else. Well, block to polyspermy. I don't know if that's well understood. There's a fast block and a slow block. There are mechanisms by which, and one of those, when a sperm cell gets there, supposedly the sodium channels close, and it doesn't allow any other spermatozoa in to fertilize the egg. That's a block to polyspermy. Because anybody in their right mind, if they ever studied this stuff, would wonder if there are 200 million of these things released. How does one plant the flag? Okay, all right. So that's how that works. So. And then there are two things to that. But on down, right in, let's see just a minute. Let me come down here. Just kind of wrap it. We talked about this stuff the other day, but I wanted to kind of mention, let me just go right here. Okay, there it is. All of you know, now here's the deal. All right, now we can say, okay, what is the chromosome number of a spermatogonium? 2N or N? 2N. You say 2N?
Oh, it's spermatogonium.
Or an oogonium. What's the chromosome number of an oogonium? What is an oogonium and a spermatogonium? They're stem cells. They have what's the chromosome number of a primary spermatocyte or a primary oocyte? What's the chromosome number?
N.
No. Primary is 2N. Then meiosis, secondary spermatocyte, secondary oocyte is N. Now, what is ovulated? An egg? No. It's not known as an egg. It's called a secondary oocyte. And when the sperm nucleus meets with the secondary oocyte nucleus, that triggers the finishing of meiosis. And there's one polar body produced and the ovum. And then the nucleus fuses with the ovum, in other words, when the sperm cell comes in the vicinity, and make sure you know that, that's on the test. Let me come down here.